Oh, has to tilt down more, babe. A little more. Guys, hold on one second. We're getting all adjusted here. I hope everybody is having a wonderful night as far as that goes. And we're going to have a little talk tonight, a little bit about special needs. And we had to bring our boy Grumpy on because it is National Lizard Day. So we need a national type lizard. Oh, sorry about that. That's my dogs in the other room playing. But guys, let's get started. Guys, welcome to another Morphs Monday. Like I said before, we have decided to go ahead and do these and just be able to talk to you guys, take any questions you might have, and just share some thoughts and concerns. I know originally we said we're going to do some North American snakes, but I didn't plan so well. Ended up feeding last night as opposed to the night before. So today we're just going to talk a little bit about special needs reptiles, what that kind of looks like, what does that even mean, and what it's like getting committed to that kind of relationship. Because let's face it, whenever you have an animal in your life, another live that depends on you, it's a relationship. So for those of you guys out there that don't know, this little guy right here, this is Grumpy. He is an absolutely beautiful and amazing bearded dragon. We'll get the camera adjusted in just 1 minute so you can see more of him and less of me, because that's going to be more excited. But he was a surrender to us. We were actually called and let known, hey, listen, we have some bearded dragons here. We have 2 of them, and we're just looking for another home. And it ended up that he had a little bit of metabolic bone disease. His brother that we named Gimpy, even though that sounds kind of mean. Sorry about that. A fly just went by the camera. But he has a little bit more excessive metabolic bone disease. Grumpy's done really well. We've rehabbed him quite a bit. And somebody just said good evening, so good evening to you. We've done a lot of rehab with him. A lot of good lighting. We focus on using fluorescent UVB as well as mercury vapor for a hot spot. Bearded dragons need about 110 to 120 degrees, somewhere around there at some point, just to warm themselves up and get everything moving and feeling good. But that's what we like to use for them, and obviously you need to keep the whole area temperature controlled. I think that Gimpy sees himself and he thinks that it might be another boy, and he wants to let that boy know that he's the mean man on the streets, right, Gimp?
That's not Gimpy.
Oh,
that's
not
Grumpy.
Gimpy. That's Grumpy. That's right. My beautiful assistant. She is behind the scenes. You will not get to enjoy her, unfortunately, today. Maybe in the future. But this is Grumpin. Oh, yeah. You can see his beard again, a little bit darker. He's a big dude. But, guys, let's talk a little bit about what special needs is and what I think special needs is. And maybe some of my experiences can help you. When I think about special needs, when I think about it with animals, I think of 3 basic categories. Whoa, hopefully nobody's getting motion sick.
Sorry.
3 basic categories that I think of is you have physical hurdles that get in the way. So that could be metabolic bone disease. That could be a few different things. It could also be, sometimes they're missing a limb or they have an issue that way. And that's never a fun thing to deal with or work with. So you have those physical things that can get in the way. You can have neurologic disorders. I think the biggest one that we see out in the reptile community is, with ball pythons, we think of the spider morph, things along that nature, where they can have a little bit of a wobble and a little bit of an issue that way. And then kind of branching off that, it's almost like a subsection, you have behavioral issues. So all those things kind of get mixed up and put together, and you got to address them. And ultimately what that means is there is some sort of hurdle with them that you have to get beyond so that they can do standard life processes. And I'm talking, when I'm saying processes, it's locomotion, moving from one area to another. It's eating, it's drinking. It's the opposite of eating and drinking. It's evacuating. And these are all really important things. And how do we address these? Well, like I said, with bearded dragons, a lot of it you can help along if you work on their actual environment. The environment can help a ton. If you have a bearded dragon, which we have a few, and I know my friend Drew, who's up in Maine, has a few. If they end up having metabolic bone disease, you can do different things with their environment, such as the lighting that I spoke about, but also making it convenient and consistent. By convenient, if mobility is restricted, you want an environment that caters to that. And consistent means you don't ultimately change their base environment that much. So if you have an animal that might be visually impaired, might have some neurological disorders, you don't want to change things up all the time. They're kind of like people. They get used to routines and where things are, and they're able to go ahead and figure out, hey, this is where my water bowl is, this is where my hide is, this is where my food is, and it goes a long way. And by the way, guys, at the very end of this, we're going to have a very special intro, at least until one of Morph's new members, who I think you guys are going to really, truly love. So, like I said, when you're dealing with these different issues and you have these special needs, you can work a lot on their environment. You also look at nutrition. They're just like us, guys. You are what you eat. So the long short of it is you want to give them the highest, best nutritious food. You want to make sure they always have clean water. I'm sorry about that, guys. If you hear some scratching in the other room. But you want to make sure what's going into your animal is as high-end as possible, is the best possible thing that you can get into them, so they continue to feel better, get stronger, and live their best life. And of course, you always want to gauge also with these animals. You want to check on their quality of life, and that's something that's a little bit tough to talk about sometimes, but quality of life is really important whenever you're dealing with special needs. And why I bring that up, and that's a touchy subject, is this animal going to have a quality life? Are they going to be able to learn to feed? Are they going to be able to do these standard processes and enjoy life? I truly do believe they feel emotions and they enjoy what's going on around them. We enjoy eating. I believe they enjoy eating too. So that is super important to take an effect. And always partner when you're with an animal with special needs. I partner all the time, and it's really important just to reach out and get advice from others. We all have different paths, and we all have different levels of experience, but we can all help each other. We can all hold each other up using those experiences. And Grumpy's being excellent. He looks like a statue. I don't know. If you guys think, please comment when you do see this. Let me know if you think he looks like a statue. We might give him a few bugs in a few moments. He is doing fantastic, and he is one of our ambassadors. He goes out, he's on the education side, he's not on the therapy side, but he goes out and he works with folks, and they get to enjoy what a lizard is. And today is National Lizard Day, so there's no way I was going to come on here without an awesome lizard, and that's exactly what Grumpy is. By the way, he's actually a super sweet, super nice guy. There's nothing wrong with Grumpy. He is the happiest, nicest, coolest dude in the world. There's nothing really grumpy about him. It's just that kind of stank look that they give you some of the times, and that's where we actually got his name. But with all that being said, you have your environment, you have your diet, and then you have what else helps with special needs, and it can be physical therapy. It's something that we focus on here a lot in Morphs Milestones. Animals with neurological disorders, like I had highlighted before, the spider ball pythons or the derivatives or morphs that come from that, if they do have a wobble, if they have that issue holding themselves still, there's different things you can do to exercise them. There's different jungle gyms you can actually make. I believe I saw an actual live on it, and our friends over at Zen Habitat set up a whole area, and they talk about enrichment a lot. So they've got some really great ideas, and we've got some floating around too that can help with muscle tone, stimulation, and raising quality of life. Like I said, with any of our animals, like our bearded dragons, a lot of them, if they like the water, if it's not a stressful event for them, if they have metabolic bone disease, we'll actually get them inside a very thin amount of water in a tub, and they actually like to swim. I think there's a few reels out there in the world where you can see that. But it's just like people. Physical therapy, activity, getting out and actually doing stuff. That's a positive thing. It lifts your spirit and makes them feel good. And you can see that because their appetite will spike up, their interest will spike up. You almost see that glimmer in their eyes, and that's a super important thing. for you to be able to relate and notice those things, it's amazing. And I truly believe that it actually strengthens the bond between individuals and animals. Dude, you're such a cool dude. You're so great. He's the best co-host in the world. I think I should be the co-host. I think he should be the main event. Maybe he is. So that's a cool thing. But guys, I really want you to leave in the comments. Tell me about some of your successes, some of your wins, some of the wonderful things that you've seen with working with special needs animals. Bren's actually going to run over and bring kind of one of our guests of honor over here. And it's a special needs animal, and it's going to be the first time that we've ever actually put them out here on social media. They're very young. I'll give you a little backstory. Sometimes, just like with people and everything else, there can be variances or differences when individuals are born, and sometimes individuals are born with more challenges than others. And that challenge can manifest in all those different things we said about special needs. It can be neurological, it could be behavioral, it could be physical. These guys have some physical challenges that they have to get by, but they're doing great. One of our friends actually helped us get him well started, and we're actually going to trade off for him. So, Mr. Grumpy, there you go, Pop. And Cena. So, guys, this is Cena. Cena is a ball python, otherwise known as a royal python, and an absolutely beautiful one. But in a moment, you will notice that there's something very different about Cena. And that is something is missing. Little Cena was born with underdeveloped tongue, heat pits, and eyes. So as far as we can tell, Cena is primarily blind. Cena is eating. Cena does have good body weight on her. She's a little girl, by the way. She's an absolutely beautiful little girl. And she is able to function, to eat, and to otherwise, besides the lack of eyes and her very special look at the front of her face, live a normal ball python life. And so we are truly excited. We have 3 little ones. One of them actually does have one eye. It's a little underdeveloped that developed. But we have 2 of these little wonderful ones, and we're going to be working with her. We're going to be spending some special time since she is special needs. We're going to be making sure she gets to eat, she gets to interact, and she gets to grow, so that one day she can go out and talk to others with special needs and share the beauty of what reptile therapy can be. And that's the connection that you can make with an animal. So guys, I just want to thank you so much for coming in here. I apologize that I didn't have the North American snakes, but I think Cena is a wonderful benefit and super cool, and this might actually almost been better. Guys, leave comments below. Tell me about some of your wins, some of your questions. Once again, we love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, for the donations you make. That gives us the ability to help little ones like this. Keep life emotional and exciting. And we will see you next time. And you guys get to see more Cena. Guys, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye now.